This is hilarious. All right, so apparently I am live streaming now. I have not got these settings down yet. I need to be able to go to the live dashboard so that I'm not watching myself on a 5-second delay. And I'm not exactly sure why when I set up the live stream, it won't let me do the live stream at the time I said I wanted it done. I'm supposed to be able to check the live stream, make sure that it's streaming properly, which it obviously is because I have a stream coming through now, but it won't go to the stream that I have set the time for. It only streams as I'm starting to set it up. So here I am, half an hour early again on this Sunday evening in Pyeongtaek, Korea. And I had a pretty interesting weekend. I just went and watched a great movie called The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And it was a very entertaining movie. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of violence. There was a lot of bad language because Samuel L. Jackson's in it. So what more could you expect? It's everything that you think the movie will be, except surprisingly enough, Samuel L. Jackson was amazing in this movie, and I'm not a huge Samuel L. Jackson fan, so he was really cast for the right role. So I would suggest if you like that type of movie, that might be something that you want to go see. I got some work done at the house this weekend, and we're getting close to installation night. That is going to be next Friday out at the lodge. That's going to be a very exciting night, and it'll be nice to have everything finished to where we can all relax and just start enjoying the new year. So everybody will be in their new positions starting next week, and we all get to go through some of the growing pains that we go through every year, but it's going to be great. It's going to be a good year, and excuse me. And it's always nice to see the brethren come out from Hong Kong and Japan and the Philippines and Scotland and everybody from around the world that comes here to our little lodge to just enjoy some food and drink with us and help us celebrate the craft. So that's always a really nice thing. It would be nice also if we could schedule these live events to a certain time so that you would know when I'm going to go live, and then you would be able to chat with me at the time. I got a little chat bar right here. Hey guys, I can answer your chats even after the live feed is finished. So if you see something interesting, or if you have some questions about Korea or what's going on in my life, anything to that effect, then feel free to post it in the chat bar and I will be able to reply to it. So don't worry about that. We're getting this flowing. We're getting the communication going. We're getting 8 to 10 people a week watching these videos, even though they are not yet consistent. I did learn some new things that are going to be very exciting for future shows, and I'm setting up the back room over there. I'm finally getting the camping gear from last week cleaned up and out of the way, but it's been raining the whole time, so I can't clean all the sand out of my tent and what was the other piece of equipment, like my sleeping pad and cot. I can't clean it all up and let it sit outside to dry because it's been raining all week. So it's still sitting in the corner over here. And so I'm taking my back office there and I'm cleaning it all out. And we're going to start using that for the live chat studio. I put the couch from our upstairs studio in there, and I've got a new light stand that we're going to be able to set up. It's a boom arm, so it's going to come across and not block the camera when we put the light up. That was one of the issues that I had, it being such a small room, that I'd had a problem before with the light being in the right spot was blocking the camera and not allowing me to get the shot or the lighting that I was hoping for. Right now I'm just using a table lamp, and you can see the overhead lighting is on here behind me, and the television is on to my left that's causing this bright spot on my face. We're going to get rid of all of the hot spots and the highlights and the glare on my glasses, and we're slowly going to put this all in order and get it organized and be able to put on a good event for you to be able to enjoy what's going on out here in Korea. And like I said, if you've got questions for me, please feel free to ask. A lot of people have been asking me online, like Facebook and certain things, about how does Korea feel about what's going on in the north. And I posted a meme the other day that showed North Korea, we're gonna bomb, and people in America, oh my god, it's gonna be nuclear war. And then people in South Korea, maybe I should get this new cell phone, because they're really not paying attention or not concerned about what's going on with the North. It happens every year, and sometimes the media picks up on it and makes it sound like it's worse than it is. But what generally happens is the North Korean dictator, whoever's in charge at the time, he gets all blustery and belligerent and insists on a bunch of changes to happen down south, and between the American forces and the Korean forces, and then nothing changes. So he says, well, if you don't want me to bomb something, you better send me 60,000 tons of food. So we'll send him a bunch of food instead. He promises that it'll all go to his people. It all ends up going to his army. His people still starve. We try and do something, maybe a nice thing. We feed the world, and we cannot control what the dictator is going to do with the items once they reach his country. We've given him several $1 million worth of gardening and tractor equipment for the farms up there in the past, and they really rely on us every year to kind of bail them out of their situations. So this is what they've learned to do. It's like dealing with a spoiled child. They're going to cry until they get their way, and they're going to start with one thing. We're going to, annihilate the world, and then dial it back and be like, well, okay, we won't annihilate the world if you'll just send us, a Burger King. So the North Koreans don't communicate with us down here, and we don't really communicate with them up there. There are a few small factions. We did see some the other day, people who were protesting the fact that there is a U.S. military post in our town. So they were out at the front gate and they were marching. They had loudspeakers. I took some video of it. Oh, can I share that? I might be able to share that. If I go searching for it, I'm going to go searching for it here in the background while I'm chatting. I posted it up here. I think if I find it and I put it on my share screen, I can share my, oh, here it is. Okay, hold on. We're going to get this up here. I think I can do this. I'm going to pause this for a second. These are the protesters. So I'm going to show you my screen. We'll transition over there and minimize this. You should be seeing my screen now. And I'm going to hit play. And as this plays across, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the volume on it. We were at my favorite restaurant in town, the Bear Paw, and we were all chatting about what's going on in the background. Everybody's opinion is their own, but you know, it's how people feel. So if you hear it, that's what's going to be happening. So here we have the protesters marching past. They started at the main gate. They have their loudspeakers, and you can just see them marching. But what's amazing to me is not the amount of protests. The protesters are, you know, they're not violent protesters. They're getting together. They're getting their word out. It's their right. Nobody has an issue with that. What's amazing to me is the number of police that are gathered together to keep this small group of people in line. So what happened was there was the anti-American protesters, well, not anti-American, but they don't want our U.S. military post here. They want a unified Korea between North and South. So this faction got together. They meet at the post, and then there's these guys with the red shirts who we didn't really see. We just saw this one old guy. Everybody runs over and like blocks him. Hey, don't try and cause any trouble, because he's one of the pro-U.S. military guys, and then they keep him out of that. And that's pretty much the end of that video. I have one more video that shows you just how many police were gathered together for that small group of protesters. This is the police force that was rallied so that they could keep the peace between the anti-U.S. establishment protesters and the pro-U.S. establishment protesters. We weren't allowed to walk out the gate. We had to go out the drive-through gate and then park in a different area just to be able to get to the restaurant. And then this is the parking area that we were at as the police were going by. And this one guy walks by and he gives us the thumbs up. So I thought that was pretty nice of him. You know, there he is. He's giving us the thumbs up. There's really no anti-American faction that I've ever run into in Korea. And when we go to I'm gonna transition this back. When we go to Seoul or anything like that, everybody is generally really super polite and kind to us, and we're not having any issues. So there's nothing to worry about. I don't think there's going to be a missile strike on Guam. Apparently the North Korean government backed down on that. And what also happens is every year the U.S. and Korean forces get together because they're going to train together. You know, we're all working together towards a safe Korea. So they will train together, the U.S. military and the Republic of Korea military. And North Korea always says that this is a violent act towards them, saying that we are planning to attack the North every time we come together. It happens every year. We do this every year. So it's something that, you know, I've lived in Korea for almost 15 years off and on. We've grown quite accustomed to, and it's all bluster and politics. And so we just kind of tune it out after a while. That might be good, that might be bad. There might be some complacency on our part saying, hey, you should pay more attention to this guy and what he's doing. And he's kind of new, so I think that's part of the reason too why there's so much media coverage on what he's doing, because, you know, his father, he'd been in place for a while and everybody was kind of used to him after 20 years, and then when his father passed away and Kim Jong-un took over, then people aren't sure exactly, you know, how he's going to react to certain things. So we're keeping an eye on him, we're paying attention, but we're not having any issues down here with, you know, it's not even slowing the traffic down, which traffic slows down in Korea when somebody sneezes wrong. So it's not anything to worry about from our point of view. I think I've beat that horse into the ground. So if there's any other questions you have about that, if I didn't cover it thoroughly enough, I hope you enjoyed those little videos. I'm glad that those went out properly. That'll be the first time anybody in the world has seen them, right here live on our channel. I've been working on photography, obviously, and doing the photo editing for Groove Magazine. We're kind of in a slow week right now because we're between issues. So the camping trip that I took last week was for a story that's going to be in the next issue, and we don't have the rest of the stories put together yet, so we haven't done photos for those yet, but we're still working on it, and there will be a new issue out in September. I'll be heading to the Philippines soon, so hopefully the internet down there will be working well enough that we can do these live chats. If not, it'll either be sketchy or we might have to miss one Sunday. It's Sunday for me. It should be Sunday morning for you by the time this video is aired. And I'm shooting for 9 p.m. every Sunday. Today I started at 8:30. It's 8:47 p.m. now, which should be 7:47 Eastern time, and that's 7:47 a.m. for you, 8:47 p.m. for me. And once we get our clocks synchronized, then these streams are going to go a lot easier. I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I've got a couple of groups that I'm handling and maintaining on Facebook. If you're interested in any of those groups, hit me up. One of the groups is all about mindset. It's called Our Freedom Machine, and so we're working on the mindset it takes to be successful. I joined a 30-day program for improving your mindset and improving your life. That is by, do I have it in front of me? What is his name? He's a real estate mogul, which is cool for me because I really like real estate. I've always been intrigued by it. I want to know how to do it better. Let's see, I'm going to pull it up here really quick. And it's called the Better Life Challenge. I got a book. The book was free. All I had to do was pay for shipping. And then I also downloaded an e-version of the book. And the book is called Millionaire Success Habits. And it is by Dean Graziosi. That's probably not how he pronounces it. Graziosi, Dean, DG. You know, he seems like a really neat guy. He's got a lot of energy. He's really good in front of the camera. He should be. He's been doing infomercials for about 20 years. He became a millionaire when he was in his early 20s, and his story is really similar to mine. He was, you know, he's lived in trailer parks, and him and his dad were homeless for a while, and he had to sleep on the bathroom floor, like in the hotel where his dad was staying or something. It's his story. I don't know the whole thing, but he went from that point, and his teachers telling him that he would never amount to anything, to where he is now as a multimillionaire and teaching other people how to be successful as well. I really liked the funnels and streams videos that he's done, and so I think I can learn a lot from him. And so I'm excited to do this 30-day challenge. The first one was easy. The first one is, what is your why? If you go to my Facebook page, I posted a link so you can start the 30-day challenge if you're interested in improving your life in 30 days. And it's free. Go hit up the 30-day challenge. See if it doesn't help. What is your why? Why do you want to be more successful in life? Me personally, I want to build a legacy for my children and my grandchildren, and I want to be a role model for them, and I want them to be able to understand that you can do anything, you can accomplish anything in life that you set your mind to. And I want to be that role model. I want to be able to show them that it's possible, and you know that you can't let people tell you you can't do something. That's an oxymoron in itself, isn't it? You shouldn't let people tell you that you can't do something. You should, if you've got your mind set on something and you're doing something for good and not for not for personal reasons, but not to be selfish. If you're not being selfish and you are wanting to improve yourself, to help yourself and others, then you can do whatever you want. And you shouldn't let people tell you that you can't do that. We've been on here for about a half an hour. It's been 20, according to my elapsed timer, it's been 23 minutes, 23 seconds. One thing that I've noticed on these live streams also is that after I log off, it does another 5 seconds because of the delay that's on here. I don't know why it has to be delayed even, because I'm not going to bleep myself. I'll say whatever the bleep I want. So you guys know me well enough to know that if I let a foul word or a bomb drop every once in a while, that's kind of the way, that's my vernacular. I try and keep it tempered, and I'll probably try and keep it tempered a little more on here, because as I said, I hope my grandchildren get an opportunity to see these videos and they don't need to hear their grandfather throwing the F-bomb all over the place. So where was I going with that? I'm gonna try. Oh, I don't know why there's a 5 second delay. That I don't need the delay, but perhaps if in the future, if we were doing like we can do a Skype to Skype chat, it would give me, or if I had somebody else kind of editing as we go along, and it would give them time to do the transitions back and forth on time when somebody says something, without having to cut out somebody who's still talking. So for that purpose, it makes sense. And right now I'm running everything here on my own. If I show you my screen, you can see that this is the back office that I'm working from. I'm streaming here. You can see my microphone volume here. The transition button is here to go from just me talking to my desktop. So if I change my desktop out to the video that we were showing before, or the YouTube channel that I'm watching the live dashboard from, then I have the ability to change these things in the back office as we're working. And so that gives me a little time to make sure that everything is set up properly and that my volume is proper and you guys aren't getting blasted out or anything like that. So it's good, I guess, to have that little bit of a delay in there, but I don't think it's really necessary at this point. Let me know what kind of topics you guys would like to talk about next week. You can hit me up anytime on Facebook, and it's just Christopher St. Germain, just like it is here. And you can just shoot me a note, send me a friend request, or send me a private message. Don't forget to subscribe to this page. Don't be surprised if there's a 5 second delay where I repeat everything that I just said right now at the end of the show. Thank you, and have a good night.